are very central to the organization of the match come Saturday, which will be taking place at the Orlando Stadium. Kickoff being at 1500 hours, and that will be Orlando Pirates taking on Mamelodi Sundowns. And joining me on stage, the CEO of Stadium Management South Africa, Mr. Bertie Grobbelaar, and of course the spokesperson for the Johannesburg Metro Police Department, and that is Mr. Xolani Fihla. Just to outline some of the plans and where we are in terms of planning for the match. As you know, tickets have already been sold out, so we do plead with you, members of the media, to help us get the message out there, especially what they're going to be briefing us on. We'll open up for a few questions, should there be any, after their opening statements. I'm going to first hand over to Mr. Grobbelaar, just to give us an overview of how the plans are going, and then what people can expect from that point of view. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Fati. I know it's going to be a long day with 2 matches to cover, so I don't think you're actually here to listen to us on logistics. I'm going to focus on 2 areas that I plead of the media to help us assist get the message across. And then in all these planning sessions we refer to the police and the stadium and private security and JMPD. Also a plea to the public attending this fixture, that we complete the circle, that the patrons and the spectators attending the fixture is part of this process to ensure it's a safe and secure event. Now, the one thing, let me start off with the logistics at the search points and at the scanning points when you enter the gates. There's been a lot of emphasis in planning, and we've seen at Orlando Stadium, before people enter the actual scanning points, the ticket flash points, there's a gathering of people in front of those chutes, and this is the area where those without tickets gather and build up, and then they force their way in from these areas. The patrons attending the fixture must please assist us and know that the police, together with the private security, the traffic wardens, are going to enforce a sterile zone in front of that area. That is the only way to ensure that only ticketed individuals enter the chutes as the first process of the ticket flash point, to ensure that only ticketed individuals get to the scanning points. The minute that battle is lost, then the scanning points gets overwhelmed and people push their way through. Then we sit with situations where there's overcapacity. Now, when you see somebody in that area that's not there, and you see somebody selling tickets, you'll see somebody trying to distribute tickets, please alert that to the SA Police Services or the private security in those areas. It's going to be different this time around, and don't get upset and don't get frustrated. That's the only way to secure that. Now, people must also know and realize that a stadium has got a safe capacity and there's a planned capacity. The planned capacity for this fixture is 31,000. In addition to the scanning, there's an access counting system installed at the venue that counts individuals, every single individual that enter or exits the venue, and it's a direct live feed to the VOC. And that is determining the point where the VOC commander sitting to our left here, Colonel Allen, with the VOC members, has to make a decision on closing gates. So as a collective, we need to, we rely on the support of the spectators as well. And please understand the measures implemented. I'm going to stop there with scanning and access control. The next thing, and I want to illustrate it in a different way today. Maybe it will make better sense. It made better sense for myself. The parking availability in and around the stadium. If we take, you'll see that, and my colleague from JMPD will deal with the road closures and the logistics around that. But there's an early bird option where you can park in Klipspruit Valley, or if you've got a stadium access ticket, you can park there, and then there's the rugby field. That's also an early bird option. Let's round that off to say, with a rugby field, stadium parking and Klipspruit Valley, we've got 1,200 bays for people to park. There's 7 other additional parking areas. On average, 400 parking bays available in those areas. That gives you 4,000 rounded parking spots for this picture on Saturday for vehicles to park. The stadium capacity, I already said, is 31,000. Let's say 16,000 people. If I take into account there's people that's going to walk to the stadium, there's more than the average car spectators per taxi. Let's say 16,000 people need to get commuted to the venue with either a taxi or a vehicle. If we work on average, the norm from traffic engineers is 2.5 people per vehicle. Then you need 6,400 bays. If I take 4 people per vehicle, you need 4,000 bays. So that is the challenge. And to put it into perspective, the Southgate Mall's got 3,200 parking bays. Let's say you close the mall on a Saturday morning and you say to everyone, 9 o'clock, arrive at the same time. What's going to happen? It's going to be absolute chaos. Now you've got a broken down vehicle in one of the access routes to the mall, and you've only got one access route. Shops will open at 1 o'clock and not at 10 o'clock. So that is the challenge with that we faced with, the reality that we faced with at Orlando Stadium with parking. If everyone cooperates and listens to and obeys directions from the traffic and from JMPD, you'll be directed to a parking space that will alleviate the pressure on the system. So if we can get that cooperation on Saturday, the battle is halfway won. So I'll deal with specific questions when there's an opportunity later on, Fatu, but as I said, I don't want to take up half an hour in this discussion.
Thank you, Bertie. Let's move on to Xolani from a JMPD point of view. If you can just give us a short brief of the plan for the weekend.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and let me greet everyone here. What I can say is, right in the beginning of the season, but we know how the situation is, how Orlando Stadium is situated as well, and with the number of spectators that we are expecting, since it is a sold-out affair, it will definitely have a serious impact on traffic on the day. But we have put in a traffic management plan to make sure that we do alleviate any congestion before and after the game. Our officers will be deployed in and around the stadium within the inner perimeter and also externally from areas like the N1 and N17, at the N17 and Soweto Highway traffic circle, Soweto Highway and Murky Street, Soweto Highway and Evan Kyler as well, and within on Klipspruit Valley Road, Marthelo Street, on Klipspruit Valley Road and Sofa Sonke Street, Kumalo Road, and also on Murky Street. We know that we will be having closures on the day. That will be causing some of the traffic disruptions. The closures will be on Murky Street, that's between Inkomoyahlaba and Masupa Street. and people who are going to be using Workie Street, especially going to those parking areas that Bertie has mentioned. Then coming from Soweto Highway, you can use either Ballandine Street or Adams Street, and coming from a super street, you can also use Adams and Ballandine. And we also got closures on Martholo Street, which is between Klipspruit Valley Road and Workie Street, and that will be open for officials, the media, and VIPs as well. One thing we do want to reiterate is early arrivals. If you do arrive early, then we can alleviate some of this traffic congestion. People tend to come to the stadium either 2 hours or 1 hour before the game, and we do see a lot of congestion at those points at that time of the game. So it is important that please do arrive early. And I also want to reiterate what Bertie has mentioned regarding designated parking areas. We are urging our spectators to use these parking areas he mentioned on Klipspruit Valley Road and Armitage. That's on the opposite of the stadium. We've got the rugby field, which is on Adams and Masupa Street, and also schools within the vicinity of the stadium where members of the public can then use that as designated parking space. And we are particularly encouraging people to use that. What we have seen in other games is that people park on Klipspruit Valley Road right on the roadway, which is a danger. Either your vehicle can get bumped or have your vehicle impounded. So please use the designated parking areas and don't park illegally. And another thing is illegal car guards. Those then will direct you to park illegally. And what I've also heard is that then they encourage people to park in areas where they're not parking, where they're not meant to park, and charge them a certain fee, saying that those areas where there is designated parking places is much more expensive. So please don't listen to illegal car guards and use the designated parking areas. And one thing that is important, and especially for the egress of the traffic management plan, Soweto Highway will be closed off at Urban Kala, that's coming from Dipkloof, coming from FNB Stadium, so that we allow all the vehicles coming from Orlando Stadium to use that route. We'll also have a closure on the N1 and N17 coming towards the N17 traffic circle, so it will be easier for us to flush all those vehicles out as quick as possible. Another concern is the intersection of Klipspruit Valley Road, Safasonke, and Kumalo Road. Most people who are not going to the stadium usually use that as an alternative. So when we do see chock-a-block traffic either before, during, and after the game, it's particularly at that intersection. So if you are going to areas like Orlando West, coming from the Nansfield Hostel, then rather use Morocco Nansfield Road, Deeper Street in Dube through Orlando West, and also coming from the N17, then you can use Soweto Highway and Car Street in Mzimhlophe to avoid that congestion. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, you can come in, Bertie.
Fatu, just to highlight, the early bird parking at Klipspruit Valley and Orlando East Rugby Field will be open from 10 o'clock in the morning. Once that parking is full, there will be a road closure, as Xolani referred to, so you won't be allowed access to that without a VAP that allows you through that closure to get into the venue. So early arrivals will be close to the venue. There's no parking fee payable there, but with the blessing of the VOC, people are encouraged to give the CPF members and the car guards managed through the VOC system a donation should you wish. It's not, you're not obliged to do so, but we encourage that they fulfill a service as well. The other 7 spots available at the schools, the PSL makes use of these facilities, and it doesn't come for free. There's a cost involved. So parking at these spots will be at 30 Rand to the public. So early bird arrivals, free parking with a donation should you wish. All the others, a parking fee of 30 Rand per vehicle.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I think I'll just open for a few questions, should there be any. Dalmain, you were paying attention. Early arrival. Thank you. I'm just joking. I'm just teasing with Dalmain from Sokala Duma. Let's go to Temba Shabalala. Do we have a microphone for him? Thank you. All right, I've noted you, Mr. Mphahlele.
Thank you, Xolani, Joseph from Sports. Orlando, this one goes to you. With the unrest that is happening currently, with the e-hailing, taxi people, and all of that around Soweto, is there any special plan for extra security, knowing that taxis and e-hailing are part of the transport system that takes people to the games?
No, thank you for that question, Timber. It is an important one. We know that we had a tragic incident that happened last night at Maponya Mall in Primaville Klipsquare. And with that in mind, there will be extra deployment, not necessarily for the game, but for that situation. We've already deployed our officers around that area. It's not only JMPD, we've got SAPS, we've got Gauteng Traffic and National Traffic Police as well. We are looking closely in that area to ensure that it doesn't spread further, but definitely for the game, that area will be looked at closely, and we'll also have our full strength deployment at Orlando Stadium as well. Thank you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. My question is for you, Bertie. On Saturday, there's an equally big event at the Collins Park, the Box and the Wallabies. I just want to check if the security systems of the city will be able to cope with two big events at almost the same time.
Definitely we'll be able to cope. It's actually not the first time when we've had a game at Orlando Stadium and the Springboks playing at Ellis Park as well. We've made sure that we do have a full strength deployment for both venues. It is important that people do come to the city of Joburg and enjoy these games at the best of their abilities. So we'll make sure that we do cover both games with the best of our deployment and ensure that people do come in and leave the city of Johannesburg freely and smoothly.
All right, wrapping up, do we have any maybe question for Bertie? Going once, not seeing any hands. I think, okay, means the message was clear, especially with regards to the parking. Okay, all good. Thank you very much. We'll end this session here. Thank you to the two gentlemen. And as Bertie had mentioned, just to acknowledge the